for our prayer and for our pledge allegiance. Heavenly Father, this is Thanksgiving week. We have much to be thankful for in our lives that every day we often take for granted, such as our awesome people that work with us and you giving us the gift of your Son so we can have eternal life. Please keep us safe over this holiday weekend. Please watch out for everyone who works for the James Allen Public Service District so we can continue in the track that your Son showed us, to be a server to others, to be their servant and not to be served. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brown?
Here.
Commissioner Clifford?
Here.
Commissioner Grant?
Here.
Commissioner Middleton? Here. Commissioner Poston?
Here.
Commissioner Wood?
Here. Oral and written petitions. There are 3 minutes per speaker. And if we have anybody signed up? We'll have the
We have the first speaker, please, stand up, state your name and address. If you would like to speak, no, you don't. Let me read the statement first. The commission is interested in hearing your concerns. The speaker should not accept commission action or deliberation on subject matters brought up during the public comment period. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person, and no personal or verbal attacks will be permitted. Comments should be relevant to the commission's scope of responsibility and its statutory authority. Topics requiring further investigation will be referred to the district manager. So if you find that you don't want to speak at this comment period, please speak later on in the meeting.
Okay, hearing none at this time, the consent agenda. We can take these separately, or we can do them all together.
Let's do them all together. It's a long time.
Consent agenda 4A, Fire Committee that met on October 10th, 2022. 4B, Ways and Means Committee met on October 17th, 2022. 4C, Administrative Committee that met on October 17th, 2022. 4D, Regular Commission meeting of October 24th, 2022. I make a motion to approve. And any discussion or correction from anyone? Roll call vote, please. I make a motion to approve the agenda item. Second. Oh yeah, I know second, and now I just need the roll call, please. Roll call vote. Yes. 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 Motion carries.
Motion carries.
Number 5, ordinance to repeal ordinance number 2015-002, managing solid waste, first reading.
All right, so that. Commissioner Woolsey?
I was going to make a motion to repeal the ordinance. You go ahead,
I was just going to say, as explained in the Solid Waste Committee meeting, members of the commission will remember that if the first reading of the ordinance is approved, the district will publicly advertise and hold a public meeting, public hearing at 6:30 prior to the next regular commission meeting scheduled for Monday, the 12th of December, 2022.
I make a motion to repeal the ordinance number 2015-402, managing solid waste.
Second.
I don't think I have any discussion.
So that was the second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, hold on, Commissioner Wilson. No.
You know,
Yes.
resolution for managing solid waste.
All right, so as explained in the solid waste committee meeting last Monday, members of the commission will remember that the resolution for managing solid waste will also be publicly advertised, and be combined in the public hearing at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, the 12th of December, 2022. And if the commission approves the adoption of the ordinance repealing the solid waste ordinance, the next item on the agenda for the 12th of December would be the solid waste resolution. Your packet contains a clean version of the solid waste resolution with the requested changes from the solid waste committee. And so the recommendation was to bring this to the full committee for consideration and to be able to move forward as presented.
Nothing number 6. I make a motion to approve the resolution for managing solid waste.
Second.
Discussion?
No, I don't recall that we're really going through the section by section solid waste committee. It was brought to us, these changes. And I realize the attorneys have let us know that all of our previous ordinances need to be resolutions on that, but we need to do this. But, I just, have a question. What is the plan to amend the brochure and then to amend it because there's some things that are different in the brochure posted online versus this? Would that be useful as well? And amend the brochure or something?
And so the brochure is a summary of this. And so basically we reference the regulation and the brochure is the regulation. And so, for example, the at cost that was changed in there, it would be the 165 would be added to that. And then obviously the other thing in section 3, they were lettered. We put in the lettering.
I think you're talking about the brochure.
Yeah, now our brochure is online, that y'all brought this about 18 months ago, doesn't match this resolution in a couple of different areas.
And I can bring that to you on the 12th.
Are you gonna bring us the brochure next time?
Sure.
So the revisions to the brochure will be brought forth on the 12th. Is that everybody understand?
Right, I guess I'm just really concerned about the holidays, because one major change is that in the brochure, you can set black bags out, and then this new resolution, all bags need to be marked. So I'm particularly worried about the holidays, and new regulations going into effect for Christmas, remember. You know, I'm concerned, so that's one thing. I also feel like there needs to be a paragraph on film debris. I would like to see a paragraph on recycling. Also, there's a difference in the fact that you mentioned to us in one of the ministry reports after the storm that we will remove limbs that are 8 inches in diameter up to 6 feet in length, and aren't we going down to 4 feet?
I believe it's always been 4 feet. 6. Oh, 6. It was 6 going down to 4. Okay.
So now we're moving down to 6 feet. Okay. Yeah, I just think, you know, at the end of the year, right before the holidays, we need changes. We haven't had much public input. The night that we had the meeting was the same night, I believe, as well, maybe it was the fire station meeting, it was the same night as the community development. But anyway, those are my concerns. Thank you.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Lower, commentary. Kathy, you still there? Commissioner Woolsey? Commissioner Woolsey?
I don't think that's well, it's to be determined.
No,
So, right now, I can ask to amend this ordinance to take it back January 1st, 2010.
You have to withdraw the motion.
I will withdraw my motion if you want to present the modified motion with the January 1 start date.
Okay. You want me to stay with them?
Yes, please, with the, notice change.
I would like to amend this, resolution that the changes will take effect January 1st, 2023.
Second. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just a quick question before that, the amending of the brochure is coming on the 12th.
That's what it says.
That'll come to you on the floor.
Okay, so we'll go with that. Okay. I'm gonna vote yes. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously.
Number 7, consider the purchase of a front-end loader for the solid waste department.
All right, so your packet contains a letter, the Blanchard Cat sales representative associated with the purchase of a front-end loader. You'll see the letter is $200,302, and this represents a 10% contingency or $18,209.25 cushion. If the price quoted the 31st of October 22 increases between now and July 2023, I would still have the authorization to make that purchase without coming back to seek commission approval. And that contingency will only be used as necessary, and the amount I'm sending to Blanchard Cat is that second amount with the actual price quoted of $182,092.75. The district will take possession of the front-end loader after the 30th of June, 2023. And members of the commission can consider a motion to authorize the purchase of the front-end loader for an amount not to exceed $200,350 through the state contract.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of, I make a motion to approve the purchase of the front wheel loader, up to the amount of $200,302 from Macon, sir?
Blanchard Cat.
Okay. And it does not come out of, comes out of 2224.
Yeah.
Second. I believe Commissioner Wolf got a second on that. Any discussion on it? Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Number 8, update on the resolution for wastewater collection system use and rates.
All right, so based on the recommendation from the wastewater committee last Monday, the 14th, the resolution was considered by the full commission. If approved to move forward, the district would also need to publicly advertise and hold a public hearing for the wastewater resolution at 6:30 p.m. prior to the next regularly scheduled commission meeting, Monday, the 12th of December 2022. Your meeting packet contains the same version of the wastewater resolution as discussed by the wastewater committee, and members of the commission consider a motion to authorize or prohibit moving forward with the changes to the wastewater resolution.
I make a motion to approve the changes to the resolution, the same time as the wastewater.
I know Commissioner Brown, second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Number 9, consider proposal from the district engineering firm.
All right, so members of the commission will see, the recommendation that the full commission consider the proposed soft cost compiled by the district engineering firm for the 3 wastewater projects discussed at the meeting Monday, the 14th of November, 2022. And you see, it looks like a spreadsheet here with the gray column to the left, working through the fourth quarter of the remaining fiscal year, from April 2023 through June 2023. So changes, what you'll be able to see in there is basically that they're breaking out and detailing the 3 projects. The top is the Harbor View Force Main project. The middle project is the rehabilitation of the wastewater collection facilities, phase 5. We're in phase 4 right now, getting ready to start phase 5. And then the bottom project is the public sewer expansion supporting James Island watershed restoration project. I was very heartened. I had a conversation with Mr. Bruce Busby at South Carolina DHEC today. And he wanted the routing number and the account number, or he wanted that $1 million deposit. And I was like, let me get right back to you. I'll tell you exactly where to put that $1 million. So that was good. Within there, members of the commission can consider a motion to authorize or prohibit the district manager to move forward with the estimated all told 3 projects of $635,708.25 associated with the services for preliminary engineering, surveying, design engineering, permitting, improvement preparation, geotechnical services, and subsurface utility engineering. So members of the commission understand moving forward with these services will necessitate a future increase for the JITSD fiscal year 23 wastewater fund appropriation. And as more progress is made on these projects, the fiscal year 23 appropriations adjustment will be presented to the commission for consideration no later than Monday, the 24th of April, 2023. Sure. So as more progress is made on the project, obviously these are estimates. And so as we make more progress, I will present to the commission a projected increase in fiscal year 23 appropriation no later than the regular commission meeting is the 24th of April, 2023. We will know about the different letter. And so that's why to get these moving forward, if, for example, we only get the Harbor View, or I'm sorry, the sewer expansion project funded by SCIP, we are going to continue to be able to try to get the non-recurring funds through the state process, the surplus of funds in the state budget, and obviously we'll continue to pursue the second round of ARPA funding, which right now could be through another round of SCIP funding administered through the IRA. That's the most, that's the word on the street for Columbia. And so basically what we're trying to be able to do is get those applications to the top of the list so that we have invested into the design engineering and the surveying, and these are multi-year projects. It's going to take multiple years to be able to get that force main project at a place where we can actually drill. Actually drilling it is going to be less than 4 months. Getting to a point where we can drill it will probably be 3 to 4 years. We know that we have to spend all the money by 2026, and so we're at this hard deadline of we know when we have to have the money spent for the federal fund. That date doesn't change. What we have to do is be able to get these projects started with the engineering. And obviously, The legal team will be working with the engineer firm as they go through the surveys and understand, the easements to be obtained. They're gonna have to be coordinated with the.
Council, would you consider a motion to approve the discussion for the,
I think we can address that once the motion is seconded and presented, so I'm gonna make a motion that we, approve the proposal for the district engineering firm. If I get a second, we can discuss it. Commissioner Brown was seconded, and what,
My idea for an alternative is to not move forward with the relocation of wastewater collection facility phase 5, which is a project that's a $1 million maximum. So at this juncture, move forward with that, so that's $41,500 in engineering design preliminary work, and to hold off on the Harbor Report plan and the sewer expansion project. Those have price tags of $8.8 million and $10 million, and we added some work that the engineering firm wants to do now and then. It is $228,000. I believe plus more because the engineering firm is asking us for $650,000, $648,000.
$635,708.45.
At this juncture. And I mean, I would like us to reach out to WWF and to the city on the Harbor Sports name and have some discussions between entities on that. And to also bring this back in January after the new commission is completed and get their ideas on that as well. But I'm looking at this list that you provided for us, and we have a lot of wastewater projects already in the queue for this budget year. And I'm sure that we haven't had public input from the 199 residences that are scheduled for. So I don't see any reason why we can't wait until January to move off the cliff with $550,000 in design work. Then I believe that can be started in January and really don't lose time over the holiday.
Thank you. Anybody else? Roll call vote, please.
Yes. Okay, to be clear, this is a motion to approve all $635,000.
Yes. Yes.
No. 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 Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion trails due to the time.
Now, I'd like to move forward with the motion to go ahead and approve the rehabilitation of wastewater collection on facility phase 5, which is a $1 million project, where we go ahead and instruct the engineers to move forward with that 41.5 they want to spend now, and that we wait on the two big ones until January. Maybe have a wastewater meeting in January. Second.
I think Commissioner Grant. So for discussion purposes, I believe that we are under time deadline because if we don't provide for the soft cost of these things, that compromises our ability to get money for the federal grants. Is that correct, Dave?
Correct, and so the one at the bottom there, that public sewer expansion, that's the one that, SCD Act was asking for the routing number and the checking account number for worth of $1 million. So that's the one we have earmarked. As far as we're getting $1 million towards that, what, the engineers are asking for, as far as this proposal, is $168,902. And that is to be able to, move forward. I provided at the wastewater committee meeting a detail of the budget as far as what we will be using that $1 million for. And within there, the vast majority was for the soft costs and the surveying and the legal to be able to get that at a point where when we know from Skip, we're in a position to move forward. The same thing with the Harbor View project, the top there, that is associated with the Skip Regional Solution Grant, that again, we might be able to, well, we will hear either way from the RIA by March of 2023. If we don't do work on that over the next couple of months, we're going to be in the same position as we are right now, where we're trying to be able to get the non-recurring funds and the second round of SKIP grant administered through ARPA. What you can see in there, that first quarter, July through September, that $22,125 that was spent, that was just to get it to a point where we could have schematic design to be able to submit for the SKIP grant. And so we had to be able to invest into that to be able to put a grant application together for consideration by the RIA. And so, if we're not able to do this, basically, we're going to be in the same situation that we were in when we got denied from the IRA before, where it's the chicken or the egg. Well, give us the overview of design engineering to complete these projects, or you don't have enough to get grant funding, and that's the whole point of trying to be able to get our application to the top of it.
Well, so it's my understanding that it was just that it's not that it's not suited for the weather, just that to go through, make it public what is being done for the city. And that's the reason that I think, truly, by saying, yes, it's making it more public aware, doing it with that, so.
More public aware, so we have meetings, we put it in the paper, we put it on TV, we put it in the newspaper, and they know where town hall is located, and people would like not to come here to find out what's going on, and this is for us to get grant money, so each thing depends on certain criteria. So we have to have soft costs established, we can be qualified for these, and then all the entities that pull together, the intergovernmental, try to help with bringing up with the creek and all that. All that was because we're trying to work together. So we're going to tell them, oh yeah, we're only going to work on this much of it. They knew about that. Hold on, I'm not done.
I mean, for the next month, and then before a bit more, then.
If they have a suggestion, schedule a public meeting for the residents involved that will be impacted by this project by mid-December.
It's not just that project, it is
It is
everything
the
else.
one thing and on, impacted, because we will, the sewer expansion, the Harbor View School thing is part of the sewer expansion project, because we will be here, we presented, I asked him point blank, is the Harbor View portion required for the sewer expansion? And his answer was yes. So it's all part of the same thing. There was a letter that was drafted.
Hold on, let's hear it. Because-
I want to ask you about,
No, I'd like to hear what our.
what happened to the letter that was drafted that we have to went out to residents? That a draft went into a grant application.
So, Troy Long was at the wastewater committee, and it was asked if the Harbor View project was the same as the sewer expansion project, and it was delineated, it was two separate projects, and they are two separate. So, they're not interrelated.
They are.
The sewer expansion can happen without the force main, or the force main can happen without the sewer expansion. And that's why there's two different grants that we're applying for to be able to get the federal funds. I understand the position of the commission. I guess we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board to be able to understand how to move forward appropriately.
Mr. Shepherd, this is here in Aspen, nothing came out from the time I was working with the commission in January of 2001. There was not an inkling of a peep about harbor reinforcement until we heard of the availability of American Rescue Plan for sewer expansion. Mr. George knows about our sewer line. He knows about the 1967 line that he failed. And he is the one who, with his engineering professionalism, suggested that we need a harbor reinforcement to Curtis, the pump station that James Delaney on Harbor View is going to carry all the sewage from Parksville. We had a draft of a letter to residents that, to my knowledge, never went out. And I've asked several times in the governmental council that we have more public engagement on there.
That's why they're sending representatives to the neighborhood to talk to them about it. We're not there yet.
Nobody else heard the word knocked on.
We're not there yet, right?
Until we secure funding.
Okay,
There's
there's
no point knocking on a door.
To secure funding, we have to do that.
okay, I will not be supporting anything about the sewer expansion until we invite residents to public meetings in this room to tell them what we're looking at, and what we're looking at, and how this is going to work. Because you're saying you've got to rush, and I look at, the information you gave last week, they want it done, you say date of completion, 2026. So these folks' lives are going to be upended, and people are talking immigration tours, and people are talking about their sewers, their septic tanks. And I saw a guy the other day at Walgreens, worried about a septic tank. Commissioner Holston?
Yes, and the only reason that I asked that we have some time, it's like 5 weeks from now, so that it's a little more time to let everyone know, because we were living, I experienced a lot of people on personal notes that are really just confused, don't understand, because we students continue every year to understand, have full knowledge, and now we're moving forward.
So then what would happen if we put this on the January,
That's right.
on the January regular commission meeting? Would we lose that much time in applying for the funds, or other people could jump ahead of us, or if we don't have them, but I
Well,
quoted skin in the game, then how are we gonna do it?
So that, we're at the 21st, so you're talking 2 months. The regular commission meeting is the 21st of, the 23rd of January. So as far as the design engineering for the surveying, that will basically be on hold until the 23rd of January, when we would be able to really do something for,
And could that adversely affect us in the $1 million earmark? And could that adversely affect our application for the additional statement?
Well, yes, that's what we're trying to avoid, is get out front, and so to be able to do that, we have to, invest now. If we're not gonna do that, then, when we get the $1 million from SCDX, we're not at liberty to spend it, kind of a holding pattern there. All of the,
But it would be key if it was whole, correct?
That's my question.
right, and so you have the rehabilitation of the wastewater. We're finishing phase 4. Obviously, all of phase 5, we plan to issue the debt and be able to cover that through the SRF loan. All that can be reimbursed through drawdown on that debt. Same thing, if the SCIP grant is if we're awarded this grant in first quarter or March of 2023, obviously all of that can be reimbursed through that skip grant, and that's why we applied for both the sewer expansion and the urban enforcement.
What I suggested was having a public meeting before we can proceed, for the residents who are impacted. What we're looking at tonight is the $1 million, which is what Mr. Wetmore, because of the thing for us in Palm Michelle, which is coming in from DPAC, $1 million, and handing over the $135,000 of it also. That's what we're talking about.
$168,902.
Okay, we get started on these major, and $8 million projects. People do not know. They don't know. They don't know. We talk to them, we live here, we don't. They don't know. We have not sent a letter, we have not had a public meeting. We have not put on the screen, here's the grinder pump, here's what this is, here's the maintenance fee, the way to use ordinance for the grinder pump. There's whether your house is water properly. All of these things, are your trees going to be impacted? Are you going to have to move right away or easement? You know, we're putting part of the board.
Commissioner Wilson?
Oh, yes, I would like to say that people have busy lives. They've got children, they've got school, they've got parents, they have jobs, and they're busy. The reason they elect us is to make these decisions. They don't have time to do the research and read all these papers like we have done, and they elect us to take care of this for them. A lot of this information, I bet you will have these meetings and maybe 2 or 3 people will show up. But that's all that ever shows up. And we need to move forward on this. And I would respectfully remind Mrs. Thompson, she won't be there if they ever vote on this. If she wants to vote on this, she needs to vote on this now. And I ask you to reconsider the original motion.
And Ms. Wolfe, I will say that I actually am thinking the same as we are discussing further. One thing that I just find interesting, we need to make sure to make it as knowledgeable to people who would not be coming to a meeting or a public hearing, they wouldn't. But, so we can make it as knowledgeable to them, that this is what we're doing and this is why. And knowing what we're doing now is not enough. We need to do it a little more because most people are so afraid to do this.
Well, if I may interject, this is all preliminary preparation. There is no end game here. This is securing the funds to even host the idea of having a fourth main, of getting phase 5 by the watershed restoration project. So unless you dig the first hole, nothing's gonna happen.
Well, I make a motion to revote, to reconsider.
I have mine, I'm Brown.
And then Brown Trout, Commissioner, please.
My wife.
My point is that we're gonna fool around and we're gonna lose what we have. We have something, we need to go forward. I am just tired of sitting here and, rent and free money, it doesn't cost us anything.
Well, let me ask the legal counsel, so I made the motion on the meeting. Am I the one that has to have a reconsideration?
Well, right now, we're going to.
I need a motion.
I
to
put
reconsider.
it in. Hold on.
I haven't gotten to finish speaking. I know you have to round it up, but my face is still talking. I made a motion already, so. I would like to no, I won't. Like Karen does, but I don't like this sort of argument, it's still unnecessary.
Thank you, Marshall.
I would like to revote on the reconsideration of the original motion.
Second.
I think the motion was.
What's the motion on the board, please?
Ms. Wilson's motion to approve the relocation of this work for phase 5.
Probably that one,
Yes, am I correct? The 5 is the second project on the list.
And if I may, to that again. Commissioner Brown Powell are you on septic or sewer? No, it is my business because I've been told that the Lighthouse Point neighborhood.
Point of order, point of order.
No,
Let's
no,
get back to
no,
the vote.
this is
Because
exactly.
now you're specifically targeting her.
Okay, in the Lighthouse Point neighborhood, did not want to go on sewer some years ago. They did not go on sewer. And I know that other commissioners.
We're not even there yet.
No, but why people are concerned about paying a sewer bill
People
for
are concerned about
eternity?
putting their water to the heat plant.
Okay. Well, why does this administration and some members of this commission have such strong feelings about engaging with the 109 homeowners about going on sewer? I don't understand it. I don't understand the resistance to a letter that was drafted, that was put in a grant application that was never sent, having a public meeting, and anyone who has the audacity to say that residents at Park Point and Oak Point Road won't come to a public meeting posted on this issue? Oh, at Christmas, maybe they won't, but, again, we haven't hosted a public meeting on going on sewer. Lighthouse Point, sure didn't want to go
All
on
right,
sewer.
point of order, let's go back. We're not even there yet. Okay, we're still talking about money we don't even have. We're talking about a project that's not gonna happen. Okay?
That's what I should have brought that up.
Point of order, point of order. Commissioner Grant.
Yes, can we put a letter out to those 199?
That's all
Well,
part
that's
of,
what I was saying.
that's part of the discussion.
If we already get the letter out, when will the letter be sent?
When we secure the funding, to be able to tell them that we can appreciate the property value by $50,000. If we don't have the grant funding to do that, this would never happen. It makes no business sense to invest in infrastructure.
Preliminary letter to let them know it's something that we're working on, we don't want to inform them, period.
So we don't know what the cost is to the homeowner. So in Lighthouse Point, for example, when we're saying, hey, here's thousands of dollars that you're gonna have to put out, not only to convert over to sewer, but then you have a bill. Whereas we're trying to frame this, that we're able to completely grant fund this project to convert from septic to sewer. And so that's why we're trying to work towards securing that grant funding, and that's why getting that $1 million earmarked, we're trying to use that for soft costs and parlay that into the local match that's eventually going to be able to pave the way to appreciate 199 properties within there and convert them from septic onto sewer. But until we can say, hey, we have this grant funding and this is how this is going to work, get everybody in the room and say, hey, we don't know how we're going to pay for that, that conversation might not go so well.
I think that they should be informed on what the possibility is to be left in the dark, whether it happens or not. I mean, I would want to know if there was a possibility or not just to be blindsided. Some people are spending thousands of dollars upgrading their septic systems right now. I mean, they have budgets, they have situations. It's just a
Well, hold on, one at a time, please.
It could be the word,
Yes.
how it's actually worded, a letter to be sent out. You're sending lots.
So hold on, I did not call on your feet. I think we're over this, let's vote on your motion. Did you not have a motion? And you had a second. Roll call vote, please.
What are you
You already voted.
My motion is to only approve the funding for the rehabilitation of wastewater collection facilities phase 5 at this time, which is over $60,000, and to wait on the two large $18 million total projects that we're seeking the ARPA funds on, and to take those back up to the where you.
Second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Brown Rouse,
No.
Commissioner Clifford,
No.
Commissioner Grant,
Yes.
Commissioner Milliken,
Yes.
Commissioner Colston,
No.
Commissioner Woolsey. Commissioner Woolsey,
Commissioner Woolsey?
No.
motion to implement?
Yes, I made a motion to leave vote on the original proposal of. Yeah. Well, that's not the.
That's your number.
But yeah.
So you make a motion for, to reconsider
Consider the original proposal.
for the district engineering firm? Second.
Now, you want, another letter, another.
That was one of the things, of letting people know that we were planning to do that. So, we don't have to do that, well, but that's already something that is going to be done, so I don't think that needs to be included in my motion.
I'd like to point out that the town sent out over 200 letters to homeowners on septic tanks, and only 20 of them replied. So, even writing a letter, they're not going to do anything.
Because they didn't want you to come look at the septic tank.
Also, most of the time, people, I mean, I'm sorry, but, I'm a young adult, whatever, I'm people all the time, people just throw this stuff away. They won't look at letters, they get, anything there, I just, they are like, I pay my bill, if I have one, they just throw it away.
Commissioner Grant?
Commissioner Woosley, what was the letter, what was the details of that letter that went
It
out?
was an offer to pump out and inspect their septic tanks for free. And 200 people, over 20 responded. So obviously they don't really care about their septic tanks. I would think that free, that's like $3 more right there, down their tank. Clean it out.
And right before we do the vote, I want the, figure corrected that Commissioner Milton was reflecting on $635, what the stop cost means.
$635,708.25.
But I would like to make note that I don't want to be including a number when we get something specifically from you.
And, yes, Commissioner Brown,
They want to, elaborate and let people know that the reason for the grant is the people who are going to get in the grant is free money. It's not gonna cost them anything. We did, a neighborhood already with designers, and those people didn't have to do anything but give up property to run it on. So this project, if we get the money, it's not gonna cost those people anything because it's a grant. Grant is free, the money sewer bill, forever. No, it's a sewer bill, not free, forever.
we're applying for the money to offset the cost so that we don't have to raise the rates. And if we don't meet certain criteria by a certain time, then we're gonna be out of the running. So time is of the essence. Roll call vote, please.
The motion, I just want to make it clear that the motion was made by Commissioner Colton, seconded by Commissioner Porter to reconsider the motion to authorize the committee to move forward
The district engineering firm.
So we're going to have two votes here, one to motion to consider, the second one, if it passes, we will vote on that, engineering firm, proposal.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Porter?
Yes.
Commissioner Grant? No. Commissioner Milliken? No. Commissioner Bolster?
Yes.
Commissioner Woolsey?
Yes,
Motion carries 4-2.
Now, what were you referencing as a second motion?
I think, and, that's the lawyers, and I can't really hear what they're saying over there, but I think the first motion should have been a motion to reconsider. The second, and if that passes, then you can reconsider, I guess it's, number 10 or the.
When I was
Number
there.
9 on our agenda.
Yes, we are on number 9, and that's what is happening.
That was the motion to reconsider.
Yeah.
Okay, so now there's a motion from someone to adopt all the projects.
Second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Von Crouch,
Yes.
Commissioner Clifford,
Yes.
Commissioner Grant,
No.
Commissioner Milliken,
No.
Commissioner Colson,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-2.
Number 10, consider proposal from Rosenblum Co-Architect for Fire Station Number 2.
All right, so this is from the fire committee meeting on the Monday, the 10th of October. And RCA came to present the conceptual design options for fire station number 2 to the fire committee. And so the fire committee made a recommendation to bring the fire station number 2 project discussed to the full JIPSD commission at a later date. And so what you have in your packet contains a proposal from RCA for $24,986 for a site survey, geotechnical investigation, including architectural coordination to advance conceptual level design to more formal design. So first preparing for schematic design, design development, and construction documents. So if approved by the commission, the services to advance fire station number 2 project can be obtained through a first amendment to the current professional services contract. And members of the commission consider a motion to authorize or prohibit Chair Clifford to execute the first amendment to the current professional services contract. We have Brian Lewis from RCA who's here tonight. Any questions about the proposal? What we're trying to do?
I just have an idea, given what we may be looking at in the executive session, that we defer this until the next meeting. Because this, involves both parcels, what we're looking at from the architect firm, in terms of the geotech and the site survey. So before we, again, rush forward on things before, you know, we really get detailed, why don't we look at what we have in executive session and bring this back in December? That would be the smart, sensible, conservative approach. So I make a motion to defer this until December regular meeting. Second. And if y'all want any more of my reasoning, we have an issue before us in executive session that involves a commission decision that needs to be made, I'm sure. And there's no reason to, before we this, we can look at that. And 30 days does not put us behind on a $6 million project. We appreciate everything you guys have done, and you know, you're going to do.
Roll call vote, please.
And I want to say something.
Okay.
We need to stop trying to kick the can down the road. We can't do anything and decide what building or what we're going to do until we get that geotechnical report. That to me is very crucial. As soon as we can get that, we can decide whether we're going to go plan A or plan B. And as soon as I get that, I would like to eliminate the dentist office. But until I get that report, and I need to have that report, to make sure we can put a good building on what we have. And I really think getting that report is crucial to moving this project forward. I've yet to meet a single person who tell me they don't want a new fire station. They're all there side of that old thing there, and everybody thinks we need more. We need to stop kicking the can down the road.
Well, since we have a representative from Rosenblum here, I'd like to hear him speak on the matter.
Thank you, Commissioner, for hearing us speak, and thank you very much for allowing us. Thank you guys very much, Commissioner, for letting me speak to you and really showcasing what we can do to get the environment a better fire station. I want to talk about the importance of what doing the geotechnical work and something would do for the longevity of the project. And really, during the conceptual phase we presented last month, we had that dollar sign of approximately $15 million in there. These two items right here really solidify greatly what that project is, mostly doing the geotechnical work, really determining what kind of foundation system is going to be $500,000 swing, good or bad. Our budget did include worst case scenario from that foundation. The building foundation, the support system that the building is calling.
For the new part.
For the new building, yes. The geotech report will essentially give us information to an accurate design for that building. Conceptually, to include that $6 million was the worst case foundation that it could be in. We always recommend that, which include first weight drain, the deep pile foundation, the full roof that geotech report could very well have some better, great soils in it, which could have up to $500,000 in bringing the costs down. I don't anticipate higher costs included. Additionally, the topographical survey that we're recommending, that would give us a lot more accurate understanding of the land and landscaping that we would do with that, including heights. We do have some, I won't say concern, but we have some, we need some legitimate kind of information on where the building's going to sit elevation-wise. We are adjacent to the 420. The majority of the property, about 2/3 is on the 420. But it's confirmation that it really hinder on some kind of future costs. So that's why working with PSV, these are things we recommended for $25,000 to get everyone as much information as possible. Ultimately, will be needed one way or another.
So I appreciate that, but,
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Something I'd like to say. I was here and I watched on Station 9 that bill. It was a disaster. We're starting on Station 2. We're going about it in the right way. We're collecting information. Before we had nothing. I mean, so now we are starting. We got the architect and the contractor working together, which is wonderful. And I think that rather than trying to stop stuff, if anyone you have to live in Station 2, you would be screaming. And I think that, we need to take this very, very serious. These firemen have been living in that building. I wouldn't put my kid in that building. It's awful. So we're going about it in the right direction. We're getting information, and so that we can have something that we can make decisions.
Thank you.
with all these, this isn't about delaying. What this is about is, you're looking at, and I think we've spoken openly in this room, every you guys, about looking at buying the parcel next to the Canyon Fire Station. We're continuing to move forward at looking at that until that deal is done or not done. I certainly found approved with the commission, parking in his parking, walking over his parcel, which commission meeting is happening for 3 to 4 days. All these folks all around, parking in his parking. You know, it's, to me, that is intimidation. And he has been very clear that he's not wanted there.
Ma'am, do you have a motion on the floor? Are we going to
I'm having
commentary?
a discussion because I have been accused of wanting to stop this project. That's it. That is not what this is about. Okay, this is about not intimidating and angering someone who we'd like to work with on what we'd like to do over there.
Let's
And
continue
so
with your
this-
motion.
This is, I don't have a motion on the floor. The point of the matter is, moving forward with these costs can wait through the holidays until January, until we look at what we need to look at in executive session and move closer in that direction.
Okay, thank you.
Is it possible that we can move that agenda item down after? Instead of waiting till, that's a brilliant idea. Brilliant.
Thank y'all. I make a motion to approve the proposal resolution. That's what I thought there was. You just make a motion. Okay.
So we take it, instead of, January until, move it, on the ban. Sure. I withdraw my motion, and I make a new motion to move agenda item number 10. You this evening after our executive session. I think that's a great idea. Second.
Hey, I didn't hear a second, so we got a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Brown
Yes.
Commissioner Clifford,
No.
Commissioner Grant,
Yeah.
Commissioner Middleton,
Yeah.
Commissioner Colson,
Yeah.
Commissioner Woolsey,
I'm sorry, reading that, I'm not sure what.
They're wanting to move item number 10, so when we re-adjourn after executive session, then we readdress item number 10 that we're talking about now that we have people here that can actually answer questions, and they'll probably be done by then. But that's what it is.
Yes, vote would move it.
A yes vote would move it past our executive session where we have 3 very important items to discuss. And a no vote would mean
One
no
of
vote.
which relates to this item. How do you know? Because I got it in the mail.
Commissioner Woolsey, Commissioner,
No,
Commissioner Brown
I'm gonna say no also.
motion fails due to a tie.
I make a motion to consider the proposal from Rosenblum Co. Architects to move forward with the geotechnical survey of the land to be used one way or the other for fire station number 2.
Second. I have a question for the representative. Will you all be walking on Dr. Gordon's property? Or anyone who you're walking? I'm sorry, not you, excuse me, I apologize. Soil consultant.
Yes, someone of the representatives from Fulton Department will be in the box.
And in the past, we have worked with Dr. Gardner and let him know, and representatives for both the arborist and both the arborist and the appraiser.
Not gonna let him know. I'll talk to you. You're gonna let him know. The last time. They were out with the community. So, it's gonna be good night.
Roll call vote,
Commissioner Brown
Yes.
Commissioner Clifford,
please. Yes.
Commissioner Grant,
Yes.
Commissioner Middleton,
Larry.
Commissioner Colson,
Yes.
Commissioner Woolsey.
yes.
Motion carries 5-1.
Item number 11, October District Manager Report. Dave Schaefer, District Manager.
Alright, so, there's a lot going on in the district right now. If you could let me get through the report, I'll try to provide clarification at the end. There's a great to gather for the district employees, the appreciation event last Thursday. Break bread, recognize many of the deserving employees that provide essential services to the JIPSC customers. We were able to celebrate employees that hit their 5-year milestones of service with the district. We recognize the employees that have been recently promoted. And it was a very good sign to see internal growth opportunity within the organization. And we recognize 4 employees for the 2022 JIPSC Mission Commitment Award. Congratulations to firefighter Adam Tittle, the fire department, heavy equipment operator Richard Hollington, the solid waste department, crew chief Willison Mack in the wastewater department, and lead mechanic James Reindahl in the food services department for receiving those Mission Commitment Awards. During the season of Thanksgiving, the district will be thankful for many of the dedicated employees that we had to recognize. Due to the district observing the Thanksgiving holiday, normal solid waste pickup will not happen on Thursday or Friday of this week, later this week. So, what residents that get their garbage picked up on Thursday are asked to put their bins out on Wednesday, the 23rd of November, this Wednesday, and this has been updated on the district social media, and also coincides with the schedule that goes out. The solid waste department will be back to their normal route starting next Monday, the 28th of November, 2022. Christmas falls on a Sunday this year, so there will not be solid waste pickup on Monday, the 26th of December, 2022, and instead Instead, residents are asked to put out their golf cart one day later than normal pickup. So Monday's pickup will happen on Tuesday, Tuesday's pickup will happen on Wednesday, throughout the week, and they will be sliding to the Friday pickup day. So Thursday's route will be picked up on Friday. We have the commission's next regularly scheduled meeting, was pushed earlier to Monday, the 12th of December, 2022. There will be public hearing at 6:30 p.m. with the regular meeting to immediately follow the public hearing. The boards from Places Maine Advisors will also be presenting the district's strategic plan during the regular meeting the 12th of December 2022. On Tuesday, the 3rd of January, at 6:30 p.m., the commission will hold a special meeting to swear in the commissioners-elect that were just recently elected Tuesday, the 8th of November, during the midterm elections. So that will happen at 6:30, and we have recently re-elected House District 115 Spencer Wetmore has agreed to swear in the new commissioners. It's a public meeting. The commissioners are invited to bring family members to the special meeting Tuesday, the 3rd of January at 6:30 here at Town Hall. Provided the commission with a detailed tentative dates in 2023, and in an attempt to provide as much notice as possible for the upcoming meetings. The commissioners can expect to see the fiscal year 22 audited financial statements and the audit reports in the meeting packet for the next regular meeting, the 12th of December. And Gary Bailey will be presenting the fiscal year 22 financials to the commission during the regular commission meeting on Monday, the 23rd of January, 2023. So, speaking of the financials, if you turn to the roll-up sheet that looks like this, I'd like to provide a summary as far as the reports through the 31st of October 2022. So that's 4 months into fiscal year 23, July through October. If you simply take the 4 months and divide by 12 months in the year, the monthly target is 33.3%, or 1/3 of the way through the fiscal year. So unfortunately, you can see that the general fund, the revenue in there, that's $779,000, that only represents 7.8 of the revenue for the general fund. That probably won't change much until I'm reporting to you in March of 2023, because we have reported through February of 2023, well after tax bills are due in January of 2023. So Charleston County tax bills are due on or before Tuesday, the 17th of January, 2023. If you have not received your tax bill, please contact the Charleston Auditor's Office by phone at 843-958-4200. The general fund expenditures you see of $3,274,227 represent 32.8% of the total budgeted $9,971,000. So the general fund actual expenditures plus encumbrances are very close to, but slightly under that target of the 33.3%. Members of the commission will also notice that the wastewater revenue collected year to date of the $3,572,000, that exceeds the year to date wastewater revenue or expenditures of the $2,819,000. So this is a positive sign for the wastewater fund, a third of the way through fiscal year 23. So the very last page of the detail, on page 9 there, members of the commission will notice at the end, it's line 02, 150, 536, 12 SRF project. So in there, $1,831,000, that has not been spent. If you go to the right on that line, you'll see that we have not spent money associated with that, and so that will change as the district draws down SRF funds. The commission will see that change over the next 2 months, where the wastewater expenditures will start catching up with the revenue collected. And so that completes my monthly district manager report.
Say on page A, line 02-150-5220, engineering architectural is way over.
Right.
You mentioned the 30,000. I guess you paid out over 108,000.
Right.
What's going on there and who is that?
So what you have there, the engineering and architectural, that is strictly for the wastewater. As we work through the SRF, those funds are reimbursable when we draw down. And so the project, once they're an asset and are fully funded, move to a balance sheet item. That 108,295, that is a combination of utility relocation projects, as well as what has had to happen to get the grant submitted for SCIP. That in the previous agenda item, I had mentioned that we're going to have to come back and be able to ask for a fiscal year 23 budget adjustment to that line. When we put the $30,000 together, and it was voted in April, we were still kind of in a holding pattern as far as we didn't know the mechanism with how RIA was going to distribute those ARPA funds, and we didn't know that we would have a crack at funding associated with that. So what the commission will see when is an offsetting revenue that will be coming in, and that will be in, if you look at page, so of the same report, if you look at page 6, is Fund 02 proprietary. Even though that expenditure line is over, you're going to see the $1 million coming in associated with the earmark from the state. So there's offsetting revenue associated with the increased expenditure.
On page 7, down the bottom, are we making headway on the capital projects for wastewater? There's like the money being spent for the pump station upgrades. They go for line with less than number of our employees who work to increase the board.
Right, those are debt service payments associated with those projects, like the
Other debt service payments?
so you look at 53819, talks about 2019 capital lease interest. So obviously, we're paying that. The 2019 pump station number 2 upgrade, that's already been done. We're paying the principal and the interest associated with those projects.
When are we going to increase more debt?
Are you talking the bond council or in Flint during budget discussion? So the 13th of February or the 13th of March, 2023, during fiscal year 24 Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you.
Number 12, Committee and James L. Health Services Representative Report, Solid Waste Committee, meeting of November 14, 2022.
So we had several of the recommendations from the Solid Waste Committee come forward tonight from last Monday to this Monday. And the same thing with the wastewater committee meeting, we had the recommendations from the full commission tonight.
Correspondence from newspaper articles. Oral and written petitions, I believe we have one speaker signed up. All right, at this time, I would like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter, a real estate matter, and receipt of legal advice regarding potential claims. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Yep. We have just exited executive session. We are now in our regular commission meeting. No action was taken in the executive session regarding items A, B, or C. And I make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Roll call vote,
Yes.
please. Yes.
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 None.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
See you later, Dave. Have breakfast ready.